Hello friends, I am Amar Ekne from Department of Mechanical Engineering, and today we are going to discuss the topics which will be there under the mechanical measurement. So let us move to first slide. So characteristic of instruments, basically there are two characteristics of instruments. First one is the static characteristic, another one is dynamic characteristic. Now the static characteristic, the characteristic of an instruments which are required to be considered for the instruments which measure unvarying process conditions. There will be the unvarying process conditions, and the characteristic which are defined for the instruments which measure quantities which do not vary with the time. So the it is instrument whenever measuring the taking the measurements for the quantities which do not vary with the time, so we can say that for them static characteristics are applied. Now the main static characteristics are accuracy, sensitivity, reproducibility, drift, static error, dead zone, precision, threshold, linearity, and so on, which can you can see on the slide. We will discuss one by one. Now the accuracy, it is the degree of closeness with which an instrument reading approaches the true value of the quantity being measured. Basically, there are two values. First one is the measured value, and second one is the true value. Whenever these two values, value and the measured value, is close, we can say that the accuracy of an instrument is very good. Suppose there is large difference in between the measured value and the true value, we can say that the accuracy in that particular case is poor. So sketch gives an idea about the accuracy and precision. Also precision we are discussing in the successive slides. Now the sensitivity, it is nothing but the input-output relationship. So obviously whenever the measuring system is concerned or the measuring instrument is concerned, there will be the input, and against that the instrument will produce some sort of output. So for a small input, how the output is normally generated, it will be deciding a factor for the sensitivity. So many times we are saying that the instrument is less sensitive or the high sensitive. So the definition of the sensitivity is the ratio of the change in output of an instrument to the change in the input. So small change in the input, suppose it is detected by the measurement system, and same sort of proportional output we are getting on the scale, we can say that it is having the fair sensitivity. These are some examples of the sensitivity meters in order to know the sensitivity for the different types of measurement system or the measuring instruments. Now the reproducibility. So reproducibility is defined as the degree of the closeness by which a given value can be repeatedly measured. So it is expected that for the instrument to produce similar kind of outputs or similar kind of readings whenever we are taking the trials under the specified conditions against the same specimen, same instrument, and whenever we are getting the repetitive or similar kind of identical readings against the different trials, we can say that the reproducibility of an instrument is good one. So again, it shows the concept of the reproducibility and repeatability. Now the drift. The drift is defined as the gradual shift in the indicator over a period of time wherein the input variable does not change. So here input-output relationship will be there as far as your measurement system is concerned. But as far as we are giving some sort of input, but we are not getting expected output, and we are getting other than the expected output, and the same trend continues as far as we change the input, and there is a difference, constant difference. So that difference in the output may be due to the drift. Now it may be due to the environmental factors such as strong magnetic field or strong electrical field, or maybe due to the thermal EMFs, or maybe due to the high temperatures we can observe it in the foundry environment, foundry industry. Mechanical vibration is another cause. We can observe it in the forging shops. If your measurement system is sensitive to the mechanical vibrations or your temperature changes, so obviously it will be producing the drift, and drift will be giving you the faulty results, or maybe deflecting your actual reading, and it will be showing some other reading. So basically drift are of three types: zero drift, span drift, and the zonal drift. Static error, it is the deviation from the true value of the measured variable. So it involves the comparison of an unknown quantity with an accepted standard quality. Means here after the prolonged use of an instrument, suppose we are not getting the expected reading, and some sort of deviation will be there, so that particular deviation gives rise to the error. And the only way to eliminate the error is by means of calibration. So you are supposed to select the instrument, you are supposed to send it to the calibration center or the calibration lab, and against that it will be tested, and whatever error will be there, it can be removed after the calibration. Now the concept of the dead zone, which is one of the static characteristic. It is the largest changes of input quantity for which there is no output. Suppose slowly in some increments I am adding the input value, but for a certain values or for the certain span I am not getting any kind of output on my presentation device or display device. So we can say that for that stipulated range, though I am enhancing the input, I am not getting any kind of output on my output device. So a value whenever I enter, against that the instrument or the measurement system is showing some sort of deviation as an output. So in that case we can say that earlier span is the, or an earlier zone is nothing but your dead zone. So dead zone is the range of an input values for which we are not getting any kind of output. So that is how we can define, or we can describe the dead zone. So a similar kind of things has been shown in the sketch. Precision. So it is a measure of the reproducibility of the instrument that is given a fixed value of variables. So similar kind of readings we are getting, and we can say that it is giving, the instrument is giving the consistent reading, and we can say that the instrument is precise one. But it is not required always to have the accuracy with that. So each and every precise instrument may not be accurate. So here the thing is that the instrument can have the precision but may not be having the accuracy. So accuracy is something different and precision term is something different. So consistent value defines the precision, but the closeness of the measured value with respect to the true value gives you the accuracy. So that is what described in this particular precision part. Now these are the examples of the precision measuring instruments. Threshold. Threshold is the smallest measurable input below which no output change can be identified. So this is while specifying this threshold, manufacturers give the first detectable output change. So this is the minimum value below which there will be no change on output device. So it is something related to the input value and minimum input value against which we can get the output, and below which we cannot getting any kind of reading on output device. So that is how we can describe the threshold. So this is the minimum value of an input against which we can observe the deflection on the output device. Linearity is defined as the ability of an instrument to reproduce its input linearly. So in this case, simply we can understand that input and output values are directly proportional. As we are raising the input, there will be the enhancement in the output proportionally. So this is nothing but your linearity, concept of the linearity. So three sketches are there, and out of that first sketch and the reading trend input output relationship, we are expecting whenever the instrument possesses good linearity, so it is expected that we are supposed to get the first draft or first graph. Now the stability, when we use the system or measurement system or measuring instrument for a certain period of time, and suppose it is giving the correct value or the perfect values as per the expectations, so we can say that the instrument is having the stability. Means it is not giving the uneven value, or it is not giving the off-bit value, or any abnormalities are not there. So suppose the readings are smooth and as per the expected standards, as per the expectations, we can say that your measurement system or measuring instrument is having the good stability. Range or span, it is nothing but it is the difference between the maximum and the minimum values. That is how we can define the range or span for any instrument. For example, vernier caliper or micrometer screw gauge will be having its minimum value that can be measured and maximum value that can be measured. So it may be 0 to 25, 25 to 50, and that is how we can decide the range depending upon the make and depending upon the smallest reading and largest reading that we can measure. So that has been shown by means of your slide and that particular sketch. Bias, the constant error which exists over the full range of measurement of an instrument, is called bias. Such a bias can be completely eliminated by calibration. So here bias due to the friction, internal friction or internal wear and tear of the parts may give rise to this particular bias, and bias can be eliminated after the calibration. So calibration is the concrete remedy for the bias removal. Tolerance, it is the maximum allowable error that can be permitted normally while taking the reading or the value at the time of measurement. So it may be on the sometimes positive side or the negative side. It depends upon the requirement from the customer end, and so obviously manufacturer who will be dealing with this. So the maximum allowable error that can be permitted while taking the reading within your measuring system is defined as, or is termed as, tolerance. Hysteresis. So hysteresis is a phenomena which depicts a different outputs effect while loading and unloading. Basically there will be a loading conditions wherein we are enhancing the input from 0 to maximum, and while unloading we are decreasing the input from maximum to the 0 value. So in both the cases there will be different trends as far as output is concerned. Suppose it is happening that in that particular fashion, it is nothing but the hysteresis effect. While loading we may get the different trend as an output, and while unloading we may get the different trend other than the loading one. So loading conditions and unloading conditions, two conditions are to be considered over here, and accordingly we are supposed to map the trend as far as outputs are concerned, and that is how we can specify the input output relationship. So both the graphs will be different one, or the paths will be different while loading and unloading, and it is shown in the subsequent slide. So you can see this. So while loading you may get the different trend, different graph, and while unloading you may get the different draft or the different graph, and when we compare they are not consistent. So while loading we are getting some other values, and while unloading conditions we are getting some other output values. So input output relationship is varying in this particular case while loading and unloading. So this gives the concept of the hysteresis. So loading conditions we are getting some different input output relationship and different outputs values, and while unloading we are getting something different, which is differing with the loading conditions. Now the measurement system include all the components in the chain of hardware and software that leads from the measured variables to process data. So obviously there will be a number of hardwares and some few softwares that will define your measurement system. So this is the a kind of crude way by means of which we can define the measurement system. So this is nothing but the functional element of an instrument. At the one end you will observe the measured end. Measure end is the thing against which we are supposed to take the reading, or we are supposed to measure the quantity. Again, as far as this particular your key functional element is concerned, it may be sometimes a kind of sensor, okay. Then the signal variable will be there, and there will be some sort of processing, and after that it will be observed on the display. So in a crude way, it has been shown mass is to be measured. So this is the measure end, and we can have this our weighing system. The sensor will be there, and the key functional element will be there. Afterwards signal variable will be there, and there will be the transfer of the signal, and maybe digitally or analogically we can give the input to the final display device to get the readings. Your system may be your mechanical sometimes or the electrical sometimes, and that is how we can do this particular or analyze this function elements of an instrument. So we will continue with this particular slide next time. I hope you understood the things. Please go through it, and please give your feedback on this particular video. Thank you very much. We will continue with this particular slide in next lecture.